Hey guys, it's Beaver back with another video. And today we're not going to be on the battlefield, we're going to be looking at something different. We're going to be looking at Arma 3. This is actually Arma 3 alpha footage, so this is a game still in its alpha stage, later to come out later this year, and I believe the beta is going to be over the summer. Anyways, this is a PC exclusive that you can pick up on Steam for $50. Or you can buy the $91 version, which gets you all three of the Arma games. And both versions get you alpha and beta access. This game is probably one of the most realistic games that I have ever played and that you could possibly ever play. It's classified not as a shooter, but as a tactical open world shooter, but more focusing on not it being a shooter, but it being a military simulator. This is basically a simulation game, not so much as it is a shooter. It is made by Bohemia Interactive. If you haven't heard of them, they're a really awesome studio. They're really community based. They really, want to get their games out there and please the community that they have. They're not, in it just for the money. This is something a little bit different if you guys are used to working with EA, or if you've ever bought an EA game. It does seem like all they're in it for is just the money, and they're really money hungry people. This isn't the same with Bohemia. They're really cool. They're out. Oh, and I should mention they're out of the Czech Republic. That's where they're from, and yeah, they're just some really cool people. Anyways, the next thing I want to talk about is your system requirements. To play this game, you're going to need a pretty powerful system. Its recommended graphics settings is an NVIDIA 560 at least. And right now I'm playing with a 660 Ti. Playing on the multiplayer servers, I was getting between 20 and 30 frames with about medium-high graphics. On this, it's probably more closer to what it's going to be like on game release. See, you got to remember, this is an alpha game, so it's not, optimized yet. And NVIDIA and AMD haven't released drivers to support this game yet. But in this exercise, I was getting between 30 and 55 frames, mostly between 45 and 55 frames. So you're going to need a pretty powerful system, and this is all on medium-high settings, of course. But for those of you guys that have not played this game before, this is the penultimate of realism when it comes to a shooter on any kind of platform, whether it be, any kind of gaming system, any kind of shooter. I want to talk about the health first. If you get shot in the head, you are instantly dead. If you get shot in the body twice, you're dead. You can maybe sometimes take a third shot depending on the weapon if it's to a limb, like an arm or a leg. Bullets, their damage is as close to real world as it could get to make a video game. It's got very accurate bullet drop. So if you're shooting, a 400 meter target that's 400 meters away, it's going to have very little drop. It's going to, it's going to be very realistic. And the bullet speeds are real world speeds. So if you're shooting, out of the muzzle 1,300 feet per second, it will travel 1,300 feet per second. So it's pretty awesome. And this differs from Battlefield. Battlefield goes for realism to an extent, but things are over-exaggerated. So the bullet drop is over-exaggerated. The speed is reduced. So, the bullets do travel pretty fast, but at a reduced speed. And this is really more seen in things like the RPG and the SHMA. Those travel extremely slow in Battlefield. However, real world, it would be almost instantaneous that those would hit their targets. If you haven't seen an RPG shot before, I suggest you just go to YouTube and just search, real RPG shot or something, and it'll come up, and you'll see the difference between Battlefield and real life. It's a very exaggerated difference in speed. Anyways, back to this. There is friendly fire. If you shoot any of your friendlies, you're going to do the same amount of damage as you would if an enemy shoots them. So you got to be careful, because your friendlies might jump in your way at times. The next thing I want to talk about is scopes and zeroing. This is kind of important because you actually can zero your scope. So right now my weapon is zeroed to 200 meters. With it zeroed at 200 meters, that means that if I hit the center of the reticule on a target at 200 meters, that's where that bullet will end up. So if I'm shooting closer than 200 meters, the bullet will actually be above my sight, and if I'm shooting past 200 meters, the bullet will actually hit below my sight. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of, that's something that you'd have in the real world, and it helps you actually get your shots to be a little bit more accurate, because if you know the range of your target, you can figure out how far you want to shoot to line up your sights exactly. One thing I want to mention, you guys just saw this in the video, was that grenade that I accidentally threw, because the button layout is a little bit different between Arma 2 and Arma 3, so I accidentally went to go to my gear and I hit a grenade instead. And I don't know if you saw that grenade, but I was standing a pretty significant distance away, and that still managed to hit me. So it kind of shows you that everything is tried to be made as realistic as possible. The map size. The current map that we're playing on is 19 square kilometers. It's an island that's 19 square kilometers, and the entire map is playable. Now that doesn't mean that you're going to be playing the entire map per mission, but each mission is going to, cover a portion of this map. And if you're playing on a massive online game for multiplayer, like a 100 on 100 battle, yes, this game does support up to 100 versus 100 online multiplayer battles. And on the online multiplayer, it's very structured. You have a commander, you have, a designated spot. So if you're a helicopter pilot, you will be a helicopter pilot. If you're infantry, you will be on infantry. So it's kind of interesting, and I haven't played much multiplayer yet, so I can't really comment on that. I'm learning this game along with as I'm commenting it. So as I learn things, I will definitely let you know, and I hope you guys would like to join me on this learning experience. If you've never played Arma before, we'll learn everything together, and as I learn things, I will pass them along to you guys. Another map that I believe that is going to be coming out is 270 square kilometers. So that's going to be a pretty huge map. I think it is the biggest in Arma history, but it's going to be pretty awesome. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is, first of all, I want you guys to look at the graphics. During this part of the mission, I get to see, a really nice set of this map as I'm walking up the hillside. You get to see, okay, I guess right now we're looking at the rocks, and, they have moss on them. They're very irregular shaped, and every rock has this amount of detail. And every tree, you could almost see individual leaves on them. And the grass that we're standing on, if I were to look down while I was crawling, you would see me flattening out the grass as I moved. So it's very realistic and it's very cool. Now, on a previous playthrough of this mission, because this wasn't the first time I did this mission, I actually ended up picking up a larger scope off of a dead guy's gun, and I switched it out for my scope, and I ended up shooting the guys from the village that I'm now running to. Now, that was pretty cool, but I wanted to try something different, and I wanted to test to see what the AI was like. So I tried to engage them first with a grenade launcher, but that was a little bit ineffective, though I do believe I did kill one of them. I'm not exactly 100% sure, because this game does not tell you if you've killed someone or not. You'll see that with the white lettering up in the kind of the rightish side of the screen and sort of slowly moving to the middle, that's where those two gentlemen that I need to go up and kill are supposed to be. However, as I get close to this objective, you'll notice that they're actually behind me and starting to shoot me in the back. The AI are actually very smart in this game, and they'll flank you, or they'll push to attack you if they think they know where you are. So it makes the game very dynamic. It's not, the guys are going to be standing there shooting at you and you need to make it to their position. If they think they're going to be attacked, they will move to you and they will flank you. So it makes the game very dynamic and very fun. Now, the last thing that I want to get to talking about is the destruction in this game. Very similar to Battlefield and probably closer to Bad Company 2, there is full destruction in this game. A lot of the buildings, actually I think the vast majority of buildings are enterable, and every building is destructible. So you see here, the two spotters that were up on the hill, they got back to their commander before I was able to kill them and relay artillery positions. So all my friendly soldiers are running out of the city as quick as they can, and I got a nice little hilltop perspective just to see this. So you can see the closest building had a big hole blown in the side of it. Now, this was a little bit different from my previous playthrough because I was in the village when I killed those two guys, so I was just running for my life to make sure I was able to complete the mission. But this time, because I was standing a little bit further back, I could take a minute, to show you guys just some of the beauty of this game. And then to end the mission, I run back with my soldiers into the forest where we came from. So I hope you guys like this video. I hope you guys enjoy Arma 3, are possibly going to check it out, and hopefully you enjoyed my perspective on Arma 3 and look to see my perspective in the future. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.